Do you know who I am? I run this city. You work for me." Those words came out of Mayor Derek Harlan's mouth in my courtroom, in Providence Municipal Court, in front of 47 people in the gallery. He was pointing his finger at me like I was some employee he could fire. "I'm Judge Frank Caprio. I've been on this bench for over 20 years. I've seen angry defendants. I've seen scared defendants. I've seen defendants who cry and beg, but I'd never seen a city mayor scream at me like I was nothing. If you believe justice should be equal for everyone, you'll want to see what happens next. Let me take you back to how this all started. It was a Tuesday morning. The courtroom was filling up like it always does, people waiting for their cases, lawyers shuffling papers. The bailiff, Officer Torres, stood by the door with his usual serious face. "Case 2026, TR 4782, Torres called out. "City of Providence versus Maria Santos." I looked at my screen. "Traffic violation, failure to report an accident." Wait, that didn't make sense. The note said she was the victim, not the defendant. I made a mental note to ask about that. Maria walked up to the defendant's table. She wore a faded blue jacket and black pants. Her hands shook a little as she set down a manila folder. She looked at me with nervous eyes. "Good morning, Ms. Santos," I said gently. "Please tell me what happened." She cleared her throat. "Your Honor, I work nights cleaning Riverside Elementary School. On January 15th, I parked my car in the staff lot like always. When I came out at midnight, my car was destroyed. The whole side was smashed in. Headlight broken. Door crushed. I couldn't even open it." "Did you file a police report?" I asked. "Yes, sir. Right away. But nobody left a note. I thought maybe they'd find who did it." Her voice got quieter. "They told me there was no evidence, but I knew the school had cameras." I leaned forward. "Did you check the footage?" "I tried. The principal said the police already took it, but then—" She paused, looked down. "Then nothing happened. Nobody called me. Nobody helped me. I got a ticket in the mail saying I failed to report property damage, but I did report it. Something wasn't right here." I was about to ask another question when the courtroom door swung open hard. It banged against the wall. Mayor Derek Harlan walked in. He didn't walk like someone coming to court. He walked like someone coming to a business meeting he was already annoyed about. His shoes clicked loud on the floor. Expensive Italian leather, probably. His suit looked like it cost more than Maria's car was worth before it got hit. He had a lawyer with him, young guy in a cheaper suit, carrying a briefcase, looking uncomfortable. "Your Honor," the lawyer said quickly, "I'm Attorney Mitchell Ross, representing Mayor Harlan in this matter." I kept my voice even. "This case is about Ms. Santos. Why is the mayor here?" The lawyer opened his mouth, but Harlan cut him off. "Because this whole thing is a waste of time," Harlan said. His voice was loud, confident. "This woman parked illegally. Her car was barely touched. Now she's trying to make it some big drama." The gallery went quiet. You could hear people shift in their seats. Maria's face went red. She looked down at her folder. I kept my eyes on Harlan. "Mayor Harlan, you'll have a chance to speak when I call on you. Right now, Ms. Santos has the floor." He rolled his eyes. Actually rolled his eyes, in my courtroom. "Ms. Santos," I continued, "do you have any evidence about what happened?" She nodded and pulled out some papers. "I have the repair estimate, $4,800 to fix everything. I can't afford that. I make $11 an hour cleaning. I have 3 kids. I took the paper she handed to the clerk. The damage was serious. This wasn't some little scratch. "Your Honor," Attorney Ross said, "we're here to contest the allegations. Mayor Harlan was in the area that night for a city council dinner, but there's no proof his vehicle was involved in any collision." "Actually," I said, "I just noticed something in the file. There's a video attachment. Let's watch it." The clerk pulled it up on the courtroom screen. Everyone turned to look. The video was black and white, but clear. Timestamp, January 15th, 11:47 p.m. The school parking lot. Maria's Honda Civic parked alone under a light. Then a black Mercedes SUV came around the corner, too fast. It clipped the front corner of Maria's car hard. You could see the impact. The Honda rocked. The headlight exploded into pieces. The Mercedes stopped for about 5 seconds. The driver's door started to open. Then it closed. The SUV drove away. The clerk zoomed in on the license plate. It was clear as day. I read it out loud. License plate, Mayor 1. The courtroom exploded into whispers. People gasped. Someone said, "No way," a little too loud. Harlan's face went tight. That video doesn't prove anything. Could have been someone using my car. "Mayor Harland," I said calmly, "the car is registered to you personally. Were you driving that night?" He didn't answer. His lawyer whispered something to him. I let the silence sit for a moment. Then I said, "Let's move to evidence item 2. Ms. Santos, did you ever find out why the police said there was no evidence?" She nodded. "A detective called me last week. He said someone tried to make the video disappear, but the school's IT person had already backed it up." "Who tried to make it disappear?" I asked. She looked at Harland, then back at me. "The detective said he couldn't tell me officially, but he said I should bring everything to court. He said you'd figure it out." Attorney Ross stood up quickly. "Your Honor, this is speculation, no proof of any interference." "Actually," I said, "there's a second attachment here, an audio file." I nodded to the clerk. "Let's hear it." The speakers crackled. Then a voice came through, Harlan's voice, no question about it. "Listen, Chief, I need that footage from Riverside Elementary gone, tonight. I don't care how you do it, that parking lot video from the 15th, make it vanish." Another voice answered, older, tired. "Derek, I can't do that. That's evidence tampering. You work for me. The city pays your salary. I'm telling you to handle it." "I work for the law, not for you. I'm not doing this." "Then you're done. Clean out your desk." The recording ended. The courtroom was dead silent. Harlan's face went from tan to red. His jaw clenched. "That was a private conversation. You can't use that." "It was evidence," I said, "submitted by former police chief Raymond Foster when he resigned. He included a sworn statement about this call." Maria had tears in her eyes. Not sad tears, relieved tears, like she finally had proof she wasn't crazy. Harland exploded. "This is ridiculous. I have fundraisers to attend. I have meetings with the governor. I don't have time for this nonsense over some parking lot scratch." "Some parking lot scratch?" I repeated. "Mr. Mayor, you caused $4,800 in damage to a working mother's only vehicle. Then you tried to cover it up. Then you tried to use your position to destroy evidence." "I didn't destroy anything. The video's right there. Because Chief Foster refused your order, not because you had a change of heart." He stepped forward. His lawyer grabbed his arm, but he shook him off. "You don't understand how things work, Judge. I make decisions every day that affect thousands of people. This woman's car is not worth my time. It's not worth anyone's time." I felt something cold settle in my chest. "Sit down, Mayor Harland." "No, I'm not going to sit here and be lectured by—" "Sit down." He didn't. He took another step toward my bench. His finger came up again, pointing. "You know what your problem is? You think everyone's equal in here, but they're not. I'm the mayor. I have responsibilities. I have power. She's a cleaner. She's nobody. Her car doesn't matter. This case doesn't matter. And honestly, Judge, you're starting to waste my time." The courtroom erupted. People shouted. Officer Torres moved toward Harland. Attorney Ross looked like he wanted to disappear, but I just sat there. I let the noise happen. I waited until it died down. Then I spoke. My voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. "Mayor Harland, did you just call Ms. Santos nobody in my courtroom?" He crossed his arms. "I called it like it is. Do you know what she does for a living? She cleans toilets. So what? She cleans the elementary school where 340 children learn every day. She makes sure those kids have a safe, clean place to study. She does it at night so she doesn't disturb them. She does it for $11 an hour. She does it while raising 3 kids alone." "That's very touching. Doesn't change anything." I looked at Maria. Her hands were pressed together in her lap. She was trying not to cry. I looked back at Harland. Let me ask you something, Mayor. When's the last time you cleaned something yourself? He blinked. Excuse me? When's the last time you scrubbed a floor, took out trash, washed a window? I don't see what that has to answer the question. He scoffed. I have people for that. Right. You have people. People like Maria, people you just called nobody. He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. I didn't mean, yes, you did. You meant every word. You think because you're mayor, you're above her, above the law, above consequences. I paused. Let me tell you something. In this courtroom, there are no mayors, no cleaners, no rich people, no poor people. There are only people, human beings, equal under the law. That's a nice speech, Judge, but I'm not finished. His eyes narrowed. For the first time, he looked uncertain. You hit her car, that's a fact. Video proves it. You left the scene, that's hit and run. You tried to destroy evidence, that's obstruction of justice. You tried to abuse your power to intimidate a law enforcement officer, that's corruption. I counted on my fingers. 4 separate violations. And then you came into my courtroom and disrespected a victim, disrespected the process, disrespected me. Oh, here we go, he muttered. What was that? He looked up at me. And this is when it happened. This is the moment that ended up everywhere. He shouted, I said, here we go. You want to feel important, don't you, Judge? You want to pretend you have power over me? Fine. Do your worst. Give me a fine. I'll pay it with the cash in my wallet. Give me community service. I'll send my assistant. You can't touch me. I run this city. You work for me. The gallery exploded. Officer Torres stepped right behind him. Attorney Ross put his face in his hands. I waited. 10 seconds of absolute silence from my bench. Harlan's chest was heaving. His face was bright red, sweat on his forehead. Everyone waited for me to explode back, to yell, to match his energy. But I didn't. I spoke very quietly. Mayor Harland, do you know what the most important thing I learned in 20 years on this bench is? He didn't answer. The most important thing is this. You can tell everything about a person by how they treat someone who can't fight back, someone with no power, someone who can't hurt them. I paused. You just showed everyone in this room exactly who you are. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. Ms. Santos couldn't fight back when you hit her car. She couldn't fight back when you made the evidence disappear. She couldn't fight back when she got a ticket for something you did. She has no power over you, no connections, no expensive lawyers, no way to hurt you back. I looked at Maria, but she came here anyway. She stood up anyway. She told the truth anyway. Then I looked back at him. You, on the other hand, had every advantage, every opportunity to do the right thing, and at every single moment you chose yourself. You chose your convenience, your image, your pride. Judge, I asked you one question, one simple question, and you couldn't answer it with honesty. Let me ask it again. I leaned forward. When's the last time you did something that didn't benefit you? Silence. When's the last time you helped someone who couldn't help you back? More silence. When's the last time you admitted you were wrong? He looked at the floor. That's what I thought. I opened my file. Here's what's going to happen. Attorney Ross stood up. Your Honor, if we could discuss a plea arrangement. Sit down, counselor. I'm talking to your client. I looked at Harland. First, you will pay Ms. Santos $4,800 for the vehicle damage, in full, certified check, by Friday. That's fine, I'm not done. Second, you will pay an additional $10,000 fine to the city, not your campaign fund, not some donor, your personal account. His eyes went wide. 10,000. Third, your driver's license is suspended for 90 days. I need my car for... You should have thought of that before you left the scene. Fourth, you will complete 200 hours of community service. 200 hours? Yes, and here's the specific assignment. You will work at Riverside Elementary School. You will clean, mop floors, wipe tables, empty trash, take out recycling, everything Ms. Santos does. You'll do it under the supervision of the head custodian, 4 hours every Saturday and Sunday for 6 months. The gallery gasped. Someone laughed, then caught themselves. Harlan's face went purple. You can't make me. I absolutely can. Fifth, you will write a handwritten apology to Ms. Santos, 2 pages minimum. You'll read it out loud to her, in this courtroom, in front of witnesses. This is insane. Sixth, you will write a handwritten apology to Chief Foster for attempting to corrupt him and damage his career. Attorney Ross was scribbling notes frantically. Seventh, you will create and record a public service announcement about hit-and-run laws. It'll air on local TV and radio. You'll pay for the airtime yourself. You're trying to humiliate me. No, Mayor Harland, you humiliated yourself. I closed the file. And one more thing, for your outburst in my courtroom today, for your disrespect to Ms. Santos, for yelling at me and claiming I work for you, I'm holding you in contempt of court. His lawyer shut up. Your Honor, please. 3 days in county jail, starting tonight. The courtroom erupted. Harland went pale. You can't. There's a budget meeting tomorrow. Then I suggest you send your assistant. Oh, wait, you already said you'd do that with your community service. Guess you can't be in 2 places at once. I nodded to Officer Torres. Bailiff, take him into custody. Torres stepped forward with handcuffs. Harland backed up. This is illegal. I'll appeal. I'll have your job. You're welcome to appeal, but right now, you're coming with me. Torres was calm but firm. Get your hands off me. Sir, put your hands behind your back. Harland looked around wildly, at his lawyer, at the gallery, at Maria. Everyone just watched. Finally, he put his hands behind his back. The click of the handcuffs echoed in the silent courtroom. Torres led him toward the side door. Harland looked back at me one more time. His eyes were full of rage and something else, maybe fear. Why? He said quietly. Why are you doing this to me? I met his eyes. Because nobody is above the law, not even you. The door closed behind him. 3 months later, I got a letter. It came to my office in a plain envelope, handwritten address. I opened it. Dear Judge Caprio, I've completed 96 hours of my community service at Riverside Elementary. I'm writing this from home on a Sunday night. My back hurts. My hands are rough. I'm tired. I never knew how hard the work was. I never thought about it. Every Saturday and Sunday, I show up at 6 a.m. I clean classrooms. I scrub bathrooms. I take out bags of trash that weigh more than I expected. The head custodian is a man named Paul. He's 67 years old. He's worked there for 30 years. He doesn't talk much, but he showed me how to do everything right. He's patient. He doesn't judge me, even though he knows who I am. Last week, a little girl saw me mopping the cafeteria. She asked if I was the mayor. I said yes. She asked why I was cleaning. I told her I made a mistake and I was making it right. She said, my mom cleans offices at night. She says it's important work. I didn't know what to say, so I just said, your mom is right. I'm not writing this to get out of my sentence. I'll finish every hour. I'm writing because I need to say something. You were right. I did think I was above people like Maria Santos. I thought my time was worth more. My problems were bigger. My life was more important. I was wrong. I don't know if I'm a better person now, but I'm trying to be. I'm learning what it means to serve people instead of expecting them to serve me. Thank you for not letting me get away with it. Derek Harland. I read it twice. Then I put it in my desk drawer. That afternoon, I saw Maria in the hallway. She was leaving another hearing about getting her ticket dismissed. It finally went through. Ms. Santos, I called. How are you? She smiled. A real smile this time, not tired, not nervous. I'm okay, Your Honor. My car's fixed. My kids are good. I'm still working at the school. I'm glad. Can I ask you something? Of course. Why did you do all that for me? Nobody's ever stood up for me like that before. I thought about it. Because everyone deserves respect. especially people who work hard and do the right thing when nobody's watching. Her eyes got wet. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up. She left. I watched her walk down the hallway toward the exit, head high, shoulders back. I sat in my empty courtroom that evening after everyone left. The lights were dim. It was quiet. I thought about Mayor Harland in his expensive suit. I thought about Maria in her faded jacket. I thought about how easy it is to forget that everyone matters. Power doesn't make you important. Position doesn't make you special. Money doesn't make you better. What makes you matter is how you treat people when you have nothing to gain. Justice isn't about being harsh. It's not about revenge. It's about dignity. It's about saying out loud in front of everyone, you matter. Your pain matters. Your struggle matters. That's what this job is really about. I turned off my desk lamp and headed home.